for you out the night call. Not you, babe.
When it comes to artificial intelligence, people immediately think of movie characters, Doctor Who's Daleks and Arnold Schwarzenegger's portrayal of the Terminator.
You left me behind.
But what effect has AI had on the workforce here in the UK? Figures show that the young and the old are going to be heavily affected by automation in the future. But have we considered the people involved and today's developers in the current market?
I've worked at Sainsbury's depot in Swan Valley, which is like a frozen food depot. So all the frozen food you get in Sainsbury's, I was basically dealing with that. And yeah, I was on probation to begin with, and I had to go through like training with like a lollop, which is like the most low level, what's the word I'm looking for? Not a forklift, but it's like a low level picker that's got cages at the back. Basically you go around picking, put all the orders in the back, and then take them to basically get packed away.
Tendai, can I have tea, please?
Yeah, sorry, I was about to make one anyway, so.
Thank you.
What do you want? Like, I've got Assam tea, if you want that, or Rooibos. What do you want?
Not as something.
This is like decaf, you don't want that.
No, thanks.
It's alright. Yeah, so initially I was on a probationary period, but because, I mean, I had loads of experience in warehousing, kind of really did well with the job because I just blended right in. They hired me quite early on, and yeah, they hired me quite early on. However, later down the line, they kind of had to get rid of me and everything, which was a bit upsetting because, I mean, I was enjoying the job and it was good money, probably some of the best pay I've received from a warehouse job at Sainsbury's.
The Sainsbury's depot in question is located in Northampton's Swan Valley industrial site, where, according to Tendai, 30 other pickers lost their jobs at the same time as him, and as a result had to shelve any immediate plans they had financially.
It did kind of throw me back because I thought I found a stable job I'll be able to keep for quite a while and save up, and like I had a holiday lined up to go to Bulgaria and see family and everything, and that kind of, I had setbacks with that because I couldn't save up, and a holiday to Zimbabwe.
There's loads of that. But you won't allow me to watch it. Isn't that the same thing? Jurassic Park, Jurassic World. The first one has baby dinosaurs and then the next ones have big dinosaurs.
Yeah, it was a bit stressful because then I tried to find a new job again, and what I'd liked about the Sainsbury's one was initially I'd been given the idea that there will be potential to grow in the company and everything, which made it seem a bit strange getting laid off with, but it is what it is. I guess they found a way to do the job more efficiently. You know what they're called?
Flying wings. Not flying wings, flying birds. No, flying giant dinosaurs. What are they called? Flying dinosaurs.
To be honest, I forgot the name. That whole experience did kind of knock my trust and confidence in that whole industry, like warehouse industry, thinking, okay, if I go to another warehouse job, is there a possibility of this happening again? Because as I said, the main vibe or feeling you get in warehouse is companies just want to do more and more and develop, and it's seeming like the way that they're going to manage that is by implementing all this new machinery or just basically replacing human beings.
A Guardian survey last year stated that 1 in 3 jobs will be lost due to automation, and listed Northampton as one of the towns to be heavily hit by 2030, with roughly 25% of jobs affected. Mansfield was predicted to be the heaviest hit, also highlighting the north and the south divide, with all locations in the south barely reaching 20%. Due to the mistrust, Tendai left the warehouse industry and went into customer service. So what do the government have in plan when it comes to AI and automation presently and prospectively? The government updated the AI sector deal on the 21st of May this year, comparing the advancement of AI to Gutenberg's printing press. They stated that AI machine learning is already improving people's lives, and using deep learning AI has the potential to solve complex issues quickly. The government has a plan to be at the forefront of AI technology, focusing on a newfound partnership with themselves, businesses and academia, promising an economy that boosts productivity and earning power in the UK. The government will invest an additional £406 million into STEM, science, technology, engineering and maths, to address the shortage in those fields. A starting investment of £64 million to the new national retraining scheme supporting people to reskill for digital and construction training. Now, we don't want the documentary to just be stats, as the topic of automation has been exhausted to the bare wire. But what we want is to visualize the difference. And with some AI, especially in design and engineering sector, you can visually see the difference. Network Rail is at the centre of commuting and transporting in the majority of the UK, and thrive on finishing projects in a productive and effective manner. But what has gone as a cost of productivity? For this, we head to Network Rail's branch in Stratford to see what type of white-collar jobs are at risk.
I think the workforce in engineering is especially design engineering, has reduced. That's because most of the job can be done by AI software, and you just instead of where you need like about 10 people to do a design for you, you can actually do it with 2 people these days. Being funded by the government at the moment, so we have to deliver value for money. So we look at things being delivered more efficiently, more effectively, at a better value for money.
Network Rail as an organisation usually passes down jobs to contractors, and currently they have an ongoing project in Barking, where Volker Fitzpatricks are the head contractors on the project.
So this is the new Barking Riverside project located in Essex, just out of London. So what you can see here is the brand new project, which is all the brand new viaduct, which heads off the existing tracks at the minute and curves all the way around to the brand new station. So all this, the trains going down at the minute, is all brand new, heading down past the new developments, all the way down to the station, all still new, all new P-way overhead lines, into the new station. And then the new station will feed a new housing development and residential area that will be built post completion of the project. So we are located just over here at the minute in our office, and we're currently doing some works around here. With BIM and the process, we can create loads of different sort of techniques and variations to help us show piles going in up to down in the ground. We can show lifts, crane movements, plant movements, so it helps us logistically on site plan better, which means that it's safer, it's more cost effective, and it really helps us sort of meet our key program and our key dates as well.
With the software you can visually clash detect, meaning you can see if a certain element is not in line with another element. Where before in a 2D drawing you would only find a mistake later in the construction phase, and would roughly cost about £5,000 to amend the error. Meridian train station was the first project by Volker Fitzpatrick completed just using Beam, a 3D modelling software, and Tom Blake stated that it was crucial to proceedings, and as a result the finished station received gold ratings.
Some piling going on here, which is all below the ground, so you can see our existing train lines going through here. We have some UTXs, which are some drainage, which sort of chambers which go underneath the track to feed cables. And then the yellow there are the pile caps. So they're the foundations for the building, for the station. And then we have our precast concrete that was craned in and dropped in on top of the pile caps. all fitted out with the cladding and the glass, and then finally sort of brickwork, roof work, and then these sort of final finishes, sort of handrails, lampposts, barriers, and then any more paving as well.
With BIM software, you can take up a first-person position on a proposed model, giving the designer an opportunity to fully scrutinize the drawing, allowing the designer to identify clashes between building objects. With the advance in technology, you can make complex drawings simple by visualization, allowing all members of the construction industry, no matter what skill, understand the task in hand. But also supplies material and equipment quantities, whilst also supplying cost estimates. With all these functionalities, it better improves productivity. The software is still in its early days and has its own faults, such as finding storage systems that will grant access to all the members of the construction industry. If the software reaches its full capabilities, then roles such as planners, quantity surveyors and civil engineers could be in jeopardy, and as a result might reduce these positions to solely proof checking or incorporated into one as BIM managers. But Volker Fitzpatricks are ahead of the rest of the competitors by their implementing of BIM, and as a result land the majority of the jobs handed down from Network Rail.
So in future, I think it has to improve more and more. However, the margin of improvements is getting smaller because where you have a drastic improvement or drop in number of people, it's getting to a point now where you need at least one person, but you have 2 people. So to come down from 2 to 1, we need a lot more work to go into it.
We understand that speaking about technology is an interest-based thing, and usually when the topic arises, very few people are willing to sharpen iron. But what should we fear, or should we fear at all? For this, we head to Wales, more specifically Cardiff, where Amplify, an AI developer of Data Voyant, which is a deep learning algorithm that harvests the surface and the deep web to better predict trends for businesses.
The whole Charlie and the Chocolate Factory thing of, the dad works in the factory and he works on the production line, and then they make a machine that replaces him on the production line, but actually then there's a job to fix the machine. And I think we're kind of in that scenario where we need to promote people into to adding more value with these things. If we can create machines that do all of this easy work that no one really wants to do, to be honest, then those people then, if you move them to the next level up, then those people become, I've seen this in the real world, where people are doing this kind of work and then you move them up and then they can become analysts themselves. Nobody wants to be doing a job that can be done by a machine, right? Nobody wants to be that replaceable. Everybody wants to have more security than that and to be able to add value.
Traditionally, many people believed that expendable jobs were only limited to blue-collar workers. But in recent years, we have seen white-collar jobs being automated, such as Linklatter's law firm, who developed software to do research normally done by junior lawyers and accountants. But how far can it go up the hierarchy?
People at the bottom are doing kind of the grunt work. They don't want to do that. They want to move from that position. But people always see those people at the bottom kind of positions as the easily replaceable ones. And in many cases, quite easily so, because they are very task-specific things that are repetitive and very easily automated. But yeah, I mean, it affects, I think, nearly everybody in the chain. I mean, you can keep going up, and most of these things could be replaced by artificial intelligence or machine learning. Yeah, AI is very task-specific. In terms of things like creativity, composition, I've seen people attempt this kind of thing where you might feed in lots of very successful compositions into an engine and then assume that the machine will learn from these compositions and then will know how to make a better composition from these things. But even the results I've seen from that kind of thing aren't even satisfactory. The machine, it's doing the best that it can, but there's something inherently different about being a human and just having that intuition that machines just don't have. So to answer your question, I think we're very far away from this kind of dystopian future where everyone worries that machines will take over, but we're not near that.
So to conclude, it's fair to say that we as a society are going through a transitionary period where we are trying to fine-tune our relationship with AI. And with change comes fear. But the overall idea we're getting is that it's a positive change, This change will benefit and create new forms of work and a new way of understanding productivity.